Good morning. I'm Shireen Hess, Indiana County Commissioner, and the 2025 President of the County Commissioners Association of Pennsylvania. Thank you to all of the media representatives and supporters that are joining us today. When this presentation concludes, there will be an opportunity to conduct one-on-one interviews with county leaders here in the Rotunda for about 15 minutes. I'm joined today by members of our CCAP Board of Directors who will be presenting our 2025 legislative priorities that have been chosen by the members' counties across the Commonwealth. The counties of Pennsylvania have come together and have selected 3 priorities that represent their proactive legislative agenda for 2025. Our members selected these 3 issues because they have the greatest significance and most potential for positive impact to the counties in this coming year. Achieving these priorities will not only improve county government, but more importantly, they will improve our communities and the lives of those we serve across the entire state. Our 2025 county legislative priorities are: 1, the 911 surcharge reauthorization and statute update. 2, adequate county mental health funding. And 3, vote by mail reforms. These priorities reflect our ongoing commitment to providing exceptional services while using taxpayer dollars in the most effective and efficient ways possible. These 2025 priorities reflect the needs across Pennsylvania that are essential for counties to continue to successfully provide. These are critical services to our residents, and they affect people's lives daily. They affect our health, our economy, our safety, and our democracy. We choose to make these announcements here at the state capitol to show the need for a strong partnership with the Shapiro administration and with the General Assembly. We want to advance these issues and achieve real, meaningful reforms. So I'm going to begin with the priority, our legislative priority, the 911 surcharge reauthorization and statute updates. So while our priorities span many responsibilities of counties, our top priority for 2025 will continue to focus on one of the most critical public safety tools that counties are responsible for, and that is the reauthorization of the monthly surcharge that supports the statewide next-gen 911 system ahead of the January 31st, 2026 sunset date. Now, counties are proud to provide this very important functions in public safety, the operation of the 911 call-taking and dispatching system. As technologies continue to evolve and funding streams no longer align with current realities, counties need to be able to rely on consistent and sustainable funding to maintain our responsibility as the first line in emergency response. Pennsylvania currently has a flat surcharge of $1.95 per month, which went into effect in 2024. However, counties and ultimately county taxpayers are still shouldering a significant share of the cost of the 911 system. Counties are urging a reauthorization of the 911 surcharge at a rate that brings the county share of the 911 system costs to about 10 to 12% of that total cost. This is something that must be addressed. 911 call volume is increasing, and revenue from the 911 surcharge is failing to maintain pace with the system costs over the last several years. Even outside of funding needs, the 911 statute itself needs technical changes and cleanups to ensure that the law can meet the current realities and the needs of the next-gen system. These discussions must take place now, well before the January 2026 sunset. This is a life-saving service, and we cannot continue to look at it as a back burner type of issues. The counties are actively working with our Pennsylvania Emergency Management System, with legislative committees, with emergency management professionals, and the communications industry and other interests to make these improvements to the 911 system. Central to this effort is an investment in next generation 911. We also call this NG 911. And we want to support current and future measures so that people can communicate in an emergency. With proper investments, we can improve the system's efficiency, leading to things like more accurate system data, better regional systems, so that we can assure availability and reliability. A strong, connected 911 system is critical to ensuring services that can still be provided efficiently in situations of mass emergency and can keep up with the pace of ever-changing technological advances. We want to maximize emergency services delivery. Achieving this priority would ensure all Pennsylvania residents and visitors will continue to have fast and efficient connection to 911 operators and services in any situation, regardless of geography or time of day. I would like to now introduce Northampton County Commissioner Lori Vargo Hefner to discuss in greater detail our goals related to adequate county mental health funding. Commissioner Hefner.
Thank you, President Hess. Mental health is something that's talked about a lot. It's wonderful to see the stigma of addressing mental health issues continue to crumble. But we currently live in a time where we desperately need the investments to start catching up with the awareness. Counties deliver critical mental health services such as community residential programs, family-based support, outpatient care, and crisis intervention on behalf of the state. Counties have been able to continue to serve their residents, but are stretching the limited state funding to its breaking point. It's not hyperbole to say that the lack of adequate state funding, paired with increased demand, has pushed the collapse of the community mental health system. Despite the need of an influx of $250 million, counties are calling on funding of $100 million in the county mental health base for the coming fiscal year. This would increase and help counties maintain and build the existing safety net of services while addressing capacity issues. This would also help alleviate wait times for residents. Community members frequently report wait times of at least 6 months and oftentimes much longer. As someone who works in this field, I cannot stress enough the importance of increasing annual investments in the state's mental health community-based funding before adding any additional programs and services. The unmet community need has created a growing population of individuals that have become involved with emergency departments, law enforcement, and the criminal justice system. When no appropriate diversion exists, the remaining solutions are hospitals or incarceration, both of which are not appropriate for settings for mental health treatment and are very costly. We all know someone who has dealt with mental health issues, whether it's an elderly parent, a spouse, a child that needs treatment outside of school. Everyone in the Commonwealth should have access to timely, appropriate mental health care without undue burden. I would like now to turn it over to Snyder County Commissioner, member of the CCAP Election Reform Committee, Joe Kantz, who will introduce our final priority, vote by mail reform.
Thank you, Commissioner. 2024 was filled with election talk, and counties are proud of the way we administered free, fair, and accurate elections. But 2025 is the time to have real discussions about vote-by-mail reform. Counties take their responsibility very seriously, and serious conversations have to be held to make our election administration more efficient. Since its enactment in 2019, Act 77 remains unclear, or in some cases silent, on how counties should address certain situations, such as what do we do with naked ballots, and whether voters should be contacted and permitted to cure defects with their mail-in ballot. Procedures for handling and processing undated or misdated ballots have also become a point of great legal debate, as we all know. The lack of clarity resulting from Act 77 continues to create new challenges for counties, including the influx of voters across Pennsylvania engaging in on-demand, in-person mail-in voting during this past election season, which has placed even additional stress on county elections offices and staff that work to remain in compliance with the election code. Our offices did their best, despite the unclear rules for these situations. We must begin resolving ambiguities and gaps in the election code for which counties need clarity and uniformity, including provisions related to the law on counties' authority to use drop boxes for mail-in ballots, as well as clear and concise guidelines for curing ballot defects and third parties sending in mail-in ballot applications. Furthermore, counties are in favor of extending the pre-canvassing period to allow ample time for counties to prepare mail-in ballot and absentee ballots for tabulation so that accurate results can be provided as soon as possible. Giving counties the ability to pre-canvass will help with managing workloads on Election Day, particularly in a busy presidential year like we've just faced, where timely results will be anticipated given the high level of attention that will be paid to Pennsylvania on election night and beyond. And lastly, counties support moving back the deadline for absentee and mail-in ballot applications to 15 days prior to an election, so that voters can be confident there is plenty of time for their county to process the application, for the ballot to be mailed from the county to the voter, and then back to the county again. These are changes that can be made by the state to increase voter confidence, take stress off of the elections officials, and make Pennsylvania elections even more efficient. At this point, I would like to turn back over the mic to President Hess for some closing remarks.
Thank you, Commissioner Cantz. That concludes our press conference for the 3 legislative priorities sought by counties this year. As you heard, many of our legislative priorities rely on a strong partnership with the Shapiro administration and with the General Assembly to move these forward. We must expand our lines of communications now, and we look forward to doing that. Pennsylvania counties will continue to work hard to engage our partners and to provide our residents with the best possible services. There are many other legislative and regulatory proposals that will require our attention this year. However, these 3 priorities represent the issues that are most pressing to our counties and therefore to our residents. We ask Governor Shapiro and our friends in the General Assembly to continue and increase their engagement with counties to assure that the critical duties we provide as partners with the state are properly structured and funded. That partnership is critical to counties' mission to effectively maintain healthy, safe, and resilient communities. Together, we can implement solutions that better reflect the needs of Pennsylvanians, that better improve the stewardship of taxpayer dollars, that reduce cost, increase local flexibility, and assure the quality of services that we provide. You can find a listing of these priorities with additional details on the CCAP website at www.pacounties.org. I want to thank everybody who attended today's event, and as I said at the beginning, we will be available for interviews for about the next 15 minutes. Thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful day.